Hello, everyone. Good afternoon and happy Sunday. Welcome to another Sunday evening here in Maryland. So, today we'll be talking about something very interesting. As you can see, we have someone with us on the show, and I will not say anything about him because I'll allow him to talk about himself. And maybe you've seen him before on You Can Be Anything podcast, or maybe you've seen him somewhere on Facebook or your WhatsApp status, and we're just sharing him to talk about some great ambitions that he got. And Solange, do you want to say hello to the crew first?
Oh, hi. Of course.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys. Happy Sunday, and thanks to you all who are able to join. So, as you can see, there is a familiar face in the house, and we are here for a special edition, right? That's how I call this. And the goal here is we want to ask some pertinent questions, understand certain things. And so, we'll be prompting Gabriel Njinimbot a lot to talk about what he's up to. And so, thank you again, Gabriel Njinimbot, for accepting to come to the platform one more time. And this time we are doing it live, right? So we are happy to have you. Welcome again to the live show.
Yeah, thank you, Solange and Ice. It's wonderful to be back. And I want to say, first of all, that you guys are doing an amazing job. I think we talked about the last time this is your 48th episode, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so that's fantastic. That's wonderful. I just wanted to echo that you both are doing a very good job, and I can't wait for this show to become so viral that people can't wait to join the show on the Sunday. But yes, I'm so happy to be back here to talk about everything, talk about myself, and the things that I'm planning on doing in the next few months. I'm very excited to be back.
Thank you. So you've just give a snip of like you have a plan of what you're about to do. Can you talk a little bit more about that so the audience are aware of where you're actually going, what direction are you taking, and what's that great ambition you're about to move into or step into?
Yes, I think that it's more or less public information now that uh, I'm trying to do one of the most audacious things that I have tried. I know I've done so many in the past, but this one is a little bit. It raises my hair every time I talk about it or I think about it. Is running for the United States House of Representatives.
Great. That is a big one. And that's not something that I'm familiar with from my community. And
Mhm.
I am also intrigued and very inspired by that decision. So I see myself and my community differently right now because you stepping into that uh, kind of light or lamplight. But I want to ask, what influenced you to take that direction? What's the influence?
If
Yeah,
I may interrupt a little
yeah.
bit, just because you and I have chatted with Gabriel Njinimbot doesn't mean that everyone here watching or everyone that will stumble on this video will know who he is. What about we talk a little bit about who he is first? Then we can get right back to you, Eyes.
Okay.
Sure.
Please. Mhm.
You know, about 2 decades ago, I moved from Cameroon, in a small town. But okay, I could see you guys now. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes,
Yes.
we can.
Okay, those a little glitch, but yeah. So I'm originally from Cameroon, Western region called Bali Nyonga. For those who are familiar with it, and I came here about 24 years ago, with just $100 in my possession. And we grew up not very rich, as you guys might imagine. And uh, my parents basically were farmers. They did everything they could to ensure that we have an education. We struggled while we were growing, and uh, we went through primary school, as they call it, secondary, and through university. It was not a very easy journey, but then because my parents believed in me and my siblings, we were able to go through school. And I came to the United States about 24 years ago, and you know, started life working in a seafood restaurant right there in College Park in Maryland. And subsequently, I worked as a security guard. I went to nightclubs and picked bottles to try to sell them off to make some money. And I took a series of computer classes, and subsequently became a Microsoft certified systems engineer, and then got a job. Spent 20 years in the IT industry working for Baltimore City for 18 straight years, and I worked for PG County government and a whole bunch of other Fortune 500 companies, and also established a couple of small businesses. And today I want to run for Congress. And the reason why I'm running for Congress is because, over the years when I came in, I've been helped by so many people uh, who have helped me in so many ways to become who I am and stand on my feet. And I thought that the best way for me to give back and pay it forward is by running for an office that can allow me to represent folks and fight for the working class families, fight for people who are struggling to survive and pull themselves up to the middle class. And so it's time for me to do this. And I know that many people think I shouldn't do it because of where I come from, or because of my background, or because I don't have friends who are rich or friends who are millionaires. But I want to defy that odd, and I'm going to put my head into the ballot box when it comes time next year.
Great. That's a great one. And coming from all the way from the Northwest region in Cameroon to the United States
Yes,
24 years ago, and
correct.
getting into tech, talking about software engineering, and now you're switching into politics, if I may say. What influenced this decision, and how did you prepare for this role that you're about to take?
The greatest influence for me is the fact that while I've been here for 22, 24 years, I have seen and lived experiences that most people in our community actually live. I grew up very poor, as I said before. And if you look around, it might seem like everybody's doing well, but a good majority of people in our district or in the country are people who fall below the poverty belt. They are working class families, people who do 3 to 4 jobs, three people who struggle every day to put food on the table and pay their mortgages and pay their car notes. But then the truth is that a majority of these people are not well represented by those who are working in the House of Representatives and as Congress as a whole. And this is because money has influenced politics so much that people like us who don't have money, it's been completely forgotten. They don't think that someone like me can be or should be running for office. But I think that it is that time of the in this country where those of us, you and those of us who are struggling, working every day, 2, 3 jobs, should be the ones to actually represent those below middle class in Congress, because they understand and know what it takes to be a struggling American. So this is one of the reasons that has pushed me so hard to run for this office, because I know what it means to suffer. I know what it means to earn a minimum wage. I know what it means to send kids to school. I know what it means to have families that depend on you. I know what it means to have not have health care. I know what it means to be working 16-hour shifts, because I've done it all. And so I think that if I were to go to Congress, I would be able to better represent all of us who are still struggling to make life better for us.
Yeah, as I listen to you, I hear some aspects of your mission, things that you're about to help your community with. And I know when we talk of community here, it doesn't mean our community, Cameroon, in to be precise, but then the community that you'll be representing once you get into Congress, because I say once you get there, because I believe that is possible.
Yes.
And just to add, apart from representation, what other mission do you have? Apart from representing the people, what should the people look up to? Say, I'm going to vote for Gabriel Njinimbot. Is there, apart from representation, is there something else that we gain as we can benefit from voting you into that platform?
Yeah, so that's actually a great question. There is a lot that we stand to benefit if I were to get elected into this office. And we could spend the next 2 hours talking about it because I have spoken to hundreds and hundreds of people, citizens of this constituent. People are struggling. People are suffering. People need the government to step in and help them or protect them when they cannot help themselves or protect themselves.
Mhm.
You know, we all of us are better if we can grow together, right? If the economy is richer, or we have people who are richer at the expense of poor people in our community, then the economy doesn't get any better. So I want to do this because there is a series of issues that our community is facing. I'll take just two of them so we could talk about this. Education, for example. The reason why I'm standing here today is because I was able to have an education. And I'm pretty sure that you and most people across the country who have attained a certain level of education or a success is because they were able to go to school. Now, in our district or in most parts of the state and across the country, there is a lot of people who don't even have that chance to go to school, even though we are in the United States. Now, those who are able to go to school are still struggling. You have parents, single parents, or even parents who take care of their children who still struggle to make ends meet. Now, the fact of the matter is that those who represent us in Congress are so disconnected with grassroots that they don't understand what people are actually facing. I'll give you an example. In my district, which is District 4 in Maryland, which constitutes most of Prince George's County, the educational system still ranks 22nd out of 24 in the district, in the whole state. And in most schools, the math proficiency of kids in this school district is at 8%. The reading proficiency is at 24%. And the graduation rate is at 76%. Now, there is a lot of leaders who, over the past 20 years, have seen this decline in performance and standards right before their eyes, but they have not done, they've done much. They haven't done much, but they think they actually are solving this problem. But wait until you speak to constituents, parents, teachers. They will tell you that they have settled for this status quo for too long, and now they can no longer take it. And it takes someone like me who has actually lived it and has experienced it and has spoken to hundreds of people in this constituency who tell me that this is the problem they have. Now, what do I bring to bear? I think that the first way of solving a problem is to identify what the problem is. Okay, we've identified that there is an issue in the school system compared to all our neighboring counties. We identified that problem. 2, we have to talk about these issues, not once, not twice, but we have to be true about it. We cannot fudge the numbers. We have to be conscious and intentional about what we're doing, right? We identify it, and we have to make some noise about it. We have to galvanize folks and say, look, here's what issue we're having in our educational system. If we're planning to raise kids who can compete in the global economy, we have to make sure that we give them the best education that they will use to compete with kids from India, children from China, and the rest of it. Now, that might sound like some political soundbite, but wait until I galvanize 2,000 people, and then we could be able to start fixing this problem.
Great.